So hello everyone and hi Asif. So good to see you again. And
Thank you
let's
very
talk
much.
about your new exploration which you are doing. So let's get started. What do you want to share today? Yeah.
Yes, sir. As I have mentioned you in email that previously I have been working in service-oriented sector where we deliver our services. We were more like a contractor.
Mm-hmm,
So
mm-hmm.
there were very detailed plans, there were detailed contractual approaches, and we do the project, we deliver the project in a very predictive manner. Okay, and but now the opportunity which will be coming in my way is more of a manufacturing oriented unit where we assess our need, where we assess our requirements, whether we are going to add new facility or we just expand our existing facility and confront our robust amount of market demand. So that the major three tasks which my new employer have been given to me is like preparation of a feasibility studies, like which which kind of projects are we doing in our future, and the second one is like uh, intra-departmental projects, like look at the HR department, how they are adhering to the HR qualities. Look at the accounts department, how they are adhering to the accounting thing, and these kind of different hubs. Just check on that, and if there is a need of any enhancement, then implement that need in the form of project. So this will be also a project. So that is the second domain. And first domain is feasibility. Second domain is interdepartmental projects. And third domain is if we have done with our feasibility and we are now able to initiate our project, then start the project and implement the project. So these three kind of things.
Perfect, perfect. So what I am understanding is that earlier your role was starting from the point you get a contract and then you come into a project charter and then you deliver the contract. So that's what you were doing. And now
Yes.
your role is more about pre-contract. So it's like, you are looking at opportunities, you are uh, bringing a business case for it, seeing that is it feasible, do we make good money out of it, and if the business case looks good, then maybe finding out an approach and a vendor to do it, and once they do it, then working with them during the process and finally getting things closed. So that's the one type of work. The another type of
Yes.
work which I see is that improvement projects, so where you can say that, okay, the training, if since it's a manufacturing unit and you have so many people coming and going, so how they are adhering to quality, what kind of a recurring problems they are getting, and can we change some process, can we change some process
Yes.
of training so that we can save some wastages which are happening in the thing. So maybe a process improvement and productivity improvement kind of
Yes.
initiatives also. So okay, so what
Exactly.
is what is the question here? I understood the context. Yeah. So
So, so the question is how to start. A person which has been working with a service oriented sector where the project has been analyzed by the business point of view. You just have to quote on that bid and just win the bid and start working like a very predictive manner. But here we have to assess the feasibility. We have to assess that whether this project is viable or not. That is the one case. So as far as my previous experience is concerned, it is kind of difficult for me. But yes, at the end of the day, it will be accomplishable. But still, it's a difficult thing as of
okay,
now.
so what I'm understanding is what kind of a different skill the new job might need than my previous work environment. Is it right way to put this question?
Yes, yes, exactly, exactly.
Okay, okay. So let's see and explore. So from a project management, PMBOK and PMP and PMI perspective, this all is that you are moving little bit away from project management and you are getting into, in a say, a need assessment or a portfolio management, or you can say a business analysis space. So it can be seen,
Yes,
it depends what you do, but in general, it's more about understanding the business requirement, doing a feasibility of it, and that kind of a skills are needed
yes,
at a language level. Now what are those skills? So maybe what I can assume here is that assuming if you are not doing a decision making, you might have a various inputs coming to you. So you might think like that it's a project initiative department. Just we are, for a sake of thing, we are giving it a name. And this project initiative department may get various requests. So someone say, we need a new manufacturing unit. Someone says we need a new automation tool. Someone may say, we need a training for our employees. So there are various input initiatives coming in, and the people from business, they are bringing those initiatives. So those initiative came in, you probably need to maintain some visible backlog for it, that okay, these many initiatives has come. And then maybe you design some process, or maybe it is already there, where periodically some prioritization happens. So looks like these are the things, let's talk about in the next 1 month. Let's look at these things and collect more information about it. So that could be the second stage. So your role might be that facilitating those meetings, making it visible enough that we have these 20 items in it. And once those meeting happens, for the items which are prioritized, you may also have an individual assigned to it. So these are the people who can provide feedback for it. So that's a coordination work you may end up doing. And once that happens, then you may need to substantiate the data, maybe yourself or maybe the respective people who does this job. Now, if we wait till here, like if we analyze these 3 steps only, what kind of a skills might be needed as an individual for these 3 steps only? So initially, maybe a management and compilation skills, where you have a track of who is requesting what. You may have a formal template to put a requisition for project in a way that which talks about few items, like what is an expected benefit, what is the timeline you are looking for, who is the key initiator, what are the number of people impacted, something. So you may have a little a structure where these kind of requests can come in. So your role might be first to come up with the structure if it is not there. If it's already there, then adherence to it. So people may say, we need something. You say, no, yeah, you need something. Thank you, but you need to fill these details so that we have a little informative decision about it. So that could be your first role, I can guess.
Yeah.
The second is, once it is done, then maybe if it's already, because many times you might not be a decision maker and it's a huge decision, there are so much money involved and limited capacity is available. But there could be a decision maker who might not be always available to make decision, and then things may get delayed. So you may need to
Yes.
work out a structure on which the key decision maker can come and these things can be presented to them. And then there could be a
Mhm.
first level of prioritization. Now you need to understand what input they might need before they can make decision. At the same time, you
Mhm.
may not want to spend too much time thinking about it, because decision might be no also. So it
Yeah.
might be the way we use a language, you can say that there could be a first level of technical and financial feasibility. And once the
Yes.
technical and financial feasibility data has been presented, the initiative which looks attractive will go for a second level of analysis, where you will talk about alternatives, cost estimation in detail, and all those things. So you
Yes.
might need
Yes.
to come up with those templates which talks about what is the first level of estimation, who are involved, who can take a call about cost, from where we get the cost. Maybe we do a competitor analysis, maybe we may take a 5 bids from the vendor, and then we
Yeah.
present this to the people. Then we come up with a process where people are available to take these calls and make it visible that
Yes.
okay, 20 items are available for you to review. And once they take a call, then it might further go into a second level of refinement. What do you think about all
Yes.
this? Yeah.
Yes, sir. I have, visualized these kind of things, but you now just validate it.
Mhm, mhm. Good, good,
Yes.
good, good. Yeah.
After that, I'll definitely hear the recording, so my concepts will be again, refreshed and
Yeah.
revitalized, inshallah.
Perfect, perfect,
Yes.
perfect.
Yes.
Now, once we
So
have that stage where we can say probably the management thinks, oh, this looks good. Yeah. Now find
yes.
out how can we can do it and who can do it. So now that's a little a third stage. Like you had a raw idea, you had a feasibility level analysis one. So I'm just saying analysis one, analysis two. It might be just one for you. Depend like what is the volume of content. If the volume of content is less, then you may have a merged. You can say raw funnel analysis one, analysis two. And once analysis one is approved, then it is more about finding who can do it and coming up with the real costs. So now it might involve that you put the proposal to your preferred vendors, or you put that requirement to some of the people who can put a quote on it. Yeah. So then it is more about coming up with the contract part of it. So
Yes.
it's like evaluation of bids. So you may have some criterias which you develop over a period of time, or if the company might already have, you may make them more formalized. That, okay, guys, how do we select a vendor when we have multiple proposals, and what kind of milestones we should put in order to ensure that our delivery comes and our money does not get wasted. So those part of things may become your role. So something like coming up with evaluation criteria, coming up with execution approach, using the
Yes.
historical data, what was working, what was not working, and your experience, that what kind of contracts were more easy to manage, because that part you already know from your
Yes. Yes.
experience base. So you
Yes.
come up with those evaluation criteria and contract definition, and then based on how multiple vendor puts in, you may have approach to take it forward.
Yes.
Yeah. And that execution approach and milestone may require some kind of a governance structure for you. So in the
Yeah.
same
Yeah.
thing, you may talk about what all deliverable you will need on periodic basis from the people who are executing projects. So probably you may talk
Yes.
about periodic reports, you may talk about periodic expense thing, or whatever is relevant in that particular space. You create a governing structure for that project execution. So project is done by someone else. So for your role is, you get some a report from there, you get some deliverable from there, and you have a more, if you talk about PMP language, your role is more validate scope there. So someone is doing
Validate
work,
scope.
yeah, so you can say that, okay, I am going to run a validate scope, and I am going to an integrated project management kind of a review, top level review. So how I do it? So periodic validate
Yes.
scope, periodic resolving those issues, and that kind of a structure you might come with. Yeah.
Yes, yes, sir. I have got now a pretty much idea about that, and uh, that was the one case. And second case is interdepartmental, where the need arises and like enhancement of HR system, enhancement of accounting system, enhancement of their production facility system, like how they are produce their deliverables in a very repetitive manner. So I think this has also alignment with what you have said now, that once the need arises in any department, consult a somewhere around a vendor or consultation who will provide a better training, who will provide a better certification, and as a whole, we will be running as a project,
Yeah. Yeah.
like
So
one start and then one finish, and then at the end of the day there will be a one deliverable that the HR will be enhanced.
yeah, yeah. So now there could be a similar structure depending upon the organization style and the type of problem. Now, even in the first structure also, maybe you have, especially, see, if you are making a building, then the probability of doing benefit realization is less. But if you are doing some automation and all, then there is a probability of doing some kind of a benefit realization study also for the projects which has been closed in the last 3 months, the projects which has been closed in last 6 months. So that kind of a thing may also come in the first path as well. I believe
Yes.
this in the second path, benefit realization might be more frequently asked. So, for example,
Yes.
people may say, we want to get these people trained. Oh, what is the business case for it? What is an estimated benefit for it? And there is a
Yes.
possibility people may start asking, did we get the desired benefit? So there could be two
Yeah.
way. One way is that there is a defined budget. You can say, okay, in the production we have say X rupee like money involved, and this X money can be consumed in a 1 year. So people may not
Yes.
control that X money, and it keeps running. So that makes it a little more
Yeah.
flexible. In other cases, it could be no, no, no. You come up with the idea, make a case,
Mm.
and then we will approve, and then we will see how it has
Mm.
benefited us in future. So you need to see which
Yes.
one
Yes.
it is. If it is a second case, then it will become more or less like the first case, where the
Yes.
requests are coming, they are going through a feasibility one, feasibility two, then whatever is get approved, get executed. The second thing which you need to explore in the second case is it going to be done in-house or is it going to be outsourced? Yeah, some vendor will get involved, because I
Yeah.
may suspect that in a second case, there could be a little more mixing. Sometimes they may say, we need to do it ourselves. One
Mm.
department can do themselves. Now, if that
Yeah.
happens, then that can make a little difficult job for you, because it may also involve you in execution part of it. Because
Yeah.
if
Yeah.
they are doing internal project, then who is the team, what they are doing, and many times these department projects are very difficult to handle because they have their day job, they are working on
Yeah.
something, and then on top of it you are trying to tell them something else. So
Yes.
you need
Yes.
to find out how the resourcing gets done, and then
Mm.
it will be a kind of a weak matrix project. You have
Yes.
a department which is head, if I use a PMBOK language, but the coordination, and you are trying to get something done out of it.
Mhm.
Usually those kind of projects hardly result much value.
Yes.
So you also need to keep people visible. So yeah, we will do something, but the probability of returning value is less. If you want to do very specific, then probably we need to have a kind of investment to get the things done. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Pretty much I am very aligned with it. And the third and last case is that, once the feasibility has been done and we checked out the viability of project and then conduct a project, like the project will be most likely a construction project, like there will be a plant which will be constructed, and like project will be of 500 million or 1 billion. The cost will be, and okay, that implementation will still require a project management skills and like one start and one end date.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah. And your whole focus probably will be more on governance part of it. So like,
yes,
what is an estimated finishing, if the estimated
yes,
finishing is changing, because the contract might be still like a kind of a fixed period. You have tell everything,
yes,
but there will be assurance of quality. So how do you ensure that desired quality parameters are met? So those
yeah,
kind of things may become the part of it, the way you were doing for someone else. So you will expect that
yes,
they do it for
yes,
you, and you have a little more
yes, yes,
stringent.
yes,
So your previous experience can play a role, and say that let's come up with a little stringent mechanism, so that if there are delays happening
yes,
or if there is something happening, we can know in advance. So that part will be the key part. And maybe the way we were doing a meeting with the stakeholder to update and talk about which new initiative should be done, on a similar way, you may have an internal briefing of an ongoing project with your stakeholders. So you may come up with a mechanism
okay,
on that, and that mechanism talks about collecting information from the various contractors and all, and then having some review that okay, where do we stand, so that if something is required an attention and required some change, so you have a mechanism to make the information which is coming from the vendor
yes,
visible and consumed in your organization. That is your key role, that okay, this has been told to me, now I need to make sure that whoever is important to understand it is knowing it. So that channel
yes,
might be an important role for you. Yeah.
sir. So thank you very much for your time, sir. Thank you very much.
Good, 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 good. Yeah.
It has been a very honor for me, sir, that you have came here and talked with me like that. So I am now very relaxed with that. Thank you very much, sir.
Good, good. And keep reading. Yeah, these all things. Yeah, the business analysis and all, in case you get more excited. So PMI,
Yes.
PBA kind of stuff will
Yeah,
be
yeah,
useful.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Over
yes,
a period of
sure,
time, not hurry. Yeah, over a period of time.
for sure, sir, for sure.
Okay. Nice
Thank you very
talking.
much, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Thank you.
sir.
Bye. 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 Bye.